This is tutorial number 61 and it covers how to create injection molding models within SolidWorks. To start off, let's open up a file that's located on the DVD. Let's click File and let's open up the injection mold tutorial part, which I've included on the DVD. Now what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to create an injection mold to make this part. Now what I'm going to show is just like a basic way to make an injection molding of this part. So to start off, what we're going to do is we're going to create a shell around this part. So let's click Shell. Let's click the preview, and you can see the preview of the shell all the way around this part. So from the shell that we're going to create is going to be a cavity, and that's where the part would be created if it was an injection molding part. So it looks good. So let's click Accept. And now we've created a hollow part similar to what we first started out with. So if we click the visible with hidden lines, you can see the cavity inside of it. If you click wireframe, you can see it better. You can see inside the cavity, and that inside cavity is the part that we can create. Now let's go back to shaded with edges, and let's look at the front view. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut half of this part out. So from the front, let's click this plane here, click Sketch, click Rectangle, and from the center of this part, let's draw a rectangle that covers the bottom half. Click Feature, click Extrude Cut, and let's make this a mid-plane cut and keep going until it cuts out the whole part. Click OK, and now we have a top side template that we can use to create our injection molding, the male side and the female side. So if you look at the bottom, you can see the cavity. And what we have to do for injection molding, you have to have an entry point and an exit point for the fluid. So let's just make a basic entry exit point right here. So let's click this face here, click Sketch, click Rectangle, and let's just draw in a thin little rectangle. Click Edit, click the feature, click Extrude Cut, and we're going to cut it out just by 2 millimeters. Click OK, and now we've cut out a little notch, and this is where the fluid's going to come in and out when you make the injection molding. Click Front, and now save this part, click File, click Save As, and let's save it as the injection molding template. Click Save. And now we have a basic template that we're going to create the male and the female side of this injection molding part. So click the front view and let's flip it around until we see the bottom. And now we're going to make the male side of the injection molding. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 4 little prongs that the 2 parts are going to come together at. So for the male side, let's start off, let's click Sketch. Click this surface here, click Circle, and let's sketch a circle in the top corner here, and we'll give it a 2 millimeter radius. Click Smart Dimension, and let's make it 5 millimeters from this side and 5 millimeters from this side. Click OK, and now let's extrude this out. Click Extrude, and we'll extrude it out 5 millimeters. Click OK. And now we have our first prong on the male side. Now let's copy this over using the linear pattern. Click this edge here, and let's change the distance to 30 millimeters. And for feature to pattern, open up the tree and let's click Extrude 4. And you can see in the preview that we're going to have another extrude right there. Click OK. And now we have our second extrude. Now let's pattern those 2 and make them go down there. So let's click the linear pattern. Click this line here. Let's flip the direction. And for patterns to feature, let's click linear pattern 1. And let's increase the distance to 160. click accept, and now we have the 4 prongs. So we've finished the male side. So let's click File, click Save As, and let's click Save it as the male. Now let's create the female side. All we have to do, let's delete Extrude 4, click Yes, and now from that same sketch, we're going to do cuts. So let's extrude cut this sketch, and we're going to do it 5 millimeters. Click OK, and you can see that we've cut in instead of coming out this time. And now we have to just do the exact same linear pattern features that we did for the male side on the female side. So let's click linear pattern, click this edge here, flip the direction. For the feature to pattern, let's open up the tree, and we'll get the cut extrude 3, and we'll make the distance 30 millimeters. Click accept, and now we've made the second cut. Now let's transfer those two to the bottom, click linear pattern, click this line here, let's flip the direction, and we'll make it 160 millimeters, and let's click feature to pattern, and we'll pattern the linear pattern 3, click accept, and now we finish the female side. Now let's save this, click File, click Save As, and we'll save it as the female side. Now let's go and create a new assembly, and we'll put the 2 sides together. Click File, click New, click Assembly, click OK. Now let's view the origin, and let's bring in the female and put her right onto the origin. Now let's insert another component, click Browse, and let's insert the male side this time. Click Open, and now let's mate the prongs coming out to the holes. So let's click Mate, click this cylinder here, and click this circle here. Now let's flip the orientation, click OK, and now it can pivot around that corner. Now let's mate this circle here to this cylinder here. Another concentric mate, click OK. And now it can't move side to side, it can just move up and down. And we'll mate this face to this face, click OK. And now we've created our 2 halves, and we've created an injection molding for that part that we first began with. Now this is just a basic injection molding. It's very crude. It's not one that you would probably use, but it's just to show you how you can create an injection molding quickly and easily using SolidWorks. And that concludes our tutorial on injection molding within SolidWorks.